Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam and this is By Hook or By Needles. Today I am going to show you how you can create this really pretty eyelet lace stitch. It is a multiple of 6 stitches plus 2 and it is a 4-row repeat. It is important to note that if you are counting your stitches regularly, do not do so after the second or the fourth row because the stitch count will not equal what you cast on. So it will be out or off. Okay, so this is what it looks like at the front. It's all knit, and at the back you've got your pearl ridges. Okay, so it's not completely reversible, and it does tend to curl a little bit, so be wary of that. You may need to put a moss stitch or a rib stitch or something at the top and sides and the bottom to help prevent it from curling up like that. Okay, so I have cast on 20 stitches, and which is a multiple of 6 plus 2. And let's get started. So you are going to knit your first, stitch. I've already split my yarn from the cast on. Hang on, that's better. So you knit your first stitch, and then you're going to bring your yarn forward. Now, when you do this, and the next stitch you do is a knit stitch, you will find that you will create what they call yarn over. And that is actually a stitch you are creating. You are adding a stitch. So we're going to bring our yarn forward. The next stitch is a knit 2 together TBL. TBL means through the back loops. Okay, so we've got our yarn forward and we're going to knit 2 together through the back loops. So the way I do this is I just sort of slide my needle in, and then I just sort of turn it a little bit like that so that I can see that it's at the back and I've got both of the stitches, and you just knit 2 together just like that, and you can see that I've added a stitch. So I've removed a stitch and I've added a stitch. Okay, then the next step tells us to knit 2, and then we've got to knit 2 together. It doesn't say through the back loop because we're going to do it through the front loops like normal. Okay, just through the front stitches like normal. Then it tells us to yarn forward again because we're going to once again do knit 2 together through the back loops. So we're going to go through the back loops and knit 2 together. And we're going to knit 2, and we're going to knit 2 together normally through the front loops. It's a bit tight because we're working on the cast on stitches, and I keep splitting the yarn. I'll try that one more time. Okay, alright, then we yarn forward again. We keep doing this until we've got 1 stitch remaining, which we knit. So yarn is forward, we're going to knit 2 together through the back loops. I'm going to knit 2, and I'm going to knit 2 together normally. Then I'm going to yarn forward and got 1 stitch remaining, which I'm just going to knit as per usual. Okay, and that is our first row. Okay, now our second row, we turn our work. There's a lot going on here, but take it easy, slowly, one stitch at a time, and you should be able to be okay. So the first part tells us we just need to knit one again, and that tells us to purl 5. So we bring our yarn forward. Because we're going to purl, we're not adding a stitch, so we just purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then it tells us to purl into the front and back of the next stitch. And I've written a note there that this will be the yarn over from the previous row. And that's how you know you're at the right stage. So here I got my yarn over from the previous row, and I've got to purl into the front of it, which just means to purl into it like normal. But I don't take the stitch off the left-hand needle. Leaving the stitch on the left-hand needle, what you're then going to do is you're going to go into the back of that stitch. See, I've gone into the back, coming forward, but we're not just going into the back, we're going to make sure we do it correctly. So you can't, if you went into there and then purled, you wouldn't get the right sort of look. So what you need to do is just make sure that your purl is above that front leg like that when you do your purl into the back loop. So that was purl front and back. Okay, then it tells us we need to purl 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come to another loop over. So we're doing another purl into the front and back of the next stitch. So we purl into the front, and we pick up the back loop. We just make sure that we're in front of the front leg that we've just purled into, and we purl into that. Okay, then we purl 4 again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now it says got 2 stitches left. One is a loop over, but we're not going to do a purl front and back. We're just going to purl this as we would normally. Take our yarn to the back, and we're going to knit the last stitch. There we go. That is row 2. And if you look at this now, you can see that we have got, you should be able to see we've actually got some eyelets already forming. Okay, so on to row 3. Oops, sorry, I'm knocking the camera and all sorts today. Okay, so row 3 tells us we need to knit 2. 1, 2. That says knit 2 together. Doesn't mention through back loops, so we're actually doing it through the front loops. Knit 2 together through the front loops. Then we yarn forward, and then we knit 2 together through the back loops. Then we knit 2. We do this all the way to the end. So our repeat is knit 2 together through the front loops, yarn forward, knit 2 together through the back loops, then we knit 2. And then we knit 2 together. Oops, sorry, like normal. Oops. Then we bring our yarn forward and we knit 2 together through the back loops. And we've got 2 stitches left, and the last 2 stitches of the repeat tell us to knit those 2. Okay, we can have a look. We should be able to see the yarn overs are creating the eyelets. And finally we've got row 4. Now row 4, we're going to knit 1 and then purl 2. So knit 1, bring our yarn forward, purl 2 stitches. Then it tells us to purl into the front and the back of the next stitch, which once again is a yarn over. So into the front of the stitch. Remember, we don't take it off the left hand needle. Then we go into the back of the yarn over, from the back, moving backwards to forwards and making sure that we are in front of the first leg, and we purl that, and now we can take it off the needle. Then we purl 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we come to another yarn over, so purl into the front, then purl into the back. Oops. Make sure we're in front, and then purl 4. We do this until we get to the last 4 stitches, and then we do purl into the front and back of this stitch. So purl into the front, then purl into the back, that was my cat, she's protesting, and then we purl 2 and we knit 1. And we should have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, and don't think you can see it a little bit better when it's against the black background, but you can see those eyelets showing through and forming already the lace. That is the eyelet lace stitch. If you just rewind to the beginning again, you can repeat the 4 rows as often as you need to. You can slow it down, speed it up, whichever is needed for you to create this really pretty eyelet lace stitch. This would be nice in if you used a cotton, maybe for a cotton top for spring or summer. Yeah, I could see it working for a top for sure. Okay, well thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the stitch and liked the stitch, please give me a thumbie, and stay tuned for next time. And as usual, as normal, until next time, stay safe, take care, and bye for now.
Please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of this fabulous content. Thank you. Bye.